Bole Baba Ki Jai. Jai Mahamaya Ki Jai. So in our last discourse, we learned about Sukha Devi not wanting to get married, and his father, Veda Vyasa, trying to convince him and had him start reading the Srimad Devi Bhagavatam, and we began the beautiful story of Vishnu floating in the ocean and wondering who made him, and the beautiful Devi speaking to him. This wonderful half stanza, Mula Mantra, that said, all this that is seen is I myself. There is existent nothing other that is eternal. So he kept pondering on that, and in time, he still didn't have much of an answer. And then Veda Vyasa speaks about this. Then the Devi Mahalakshmi, seeing the Deva, Vishnu, lying on a banyan leaf and surprised, spoke to him smiling, "O Vishnu, why are you becoming so much astonished? Before this, since days immemorial, without any being there, during Pralaya, and many Shrishtis, creations, and at the beginning of every creation, you came first into existence, and every time I was united with you. But now you have forgotten me under the spell of Mahamaya. That highest Mahashakti is transcendent of all the gunas, but you and I are with gunas. Know me as the Shakti, all of Sattva Guna, who is widely known as Mahalakshmi." After this, the great Brahma, full of Rajasic gunas, the creator of all the lokas, will come into existence from your navel lotus and will create the entire three worlds. Then he will perform severe tapasya and acquire the excellent power to create, and will create the three worlds by his Rajasic guna. That highly intelligent Brahma will first create the 5 Mahabhutas, the great elements, all endowed with gunas, and then create mind with sensory organs and the presiding deities of the senses, and thus with all the ingredients fit for creation, will create all of the worlds. Therefore, he is called by all the creator of the Brahmanda. O highly fortunate one, you will be the preserver of the universe. Shiva will appear then from the center of Brahma's eye. On being born, this Shiva Deva will practice very severe tapasya and will get the beautiful Shakti, Samhara, who is all tamasic guna, and at the end of the couples will destroy all this universe of the 5 elements. O highly intelligent one, so I've come to you for this work of creation, etc. So take me to you, Vishnu, as your Vaisnavi Shakti, full of the Sattvic guna. O Vishnu, I will take refuge at your breast and will remain always with you. Hearing all this, Vishnu spoke, "O beautiful Devi, that half stanza was long heard by me in clear words. By who was that spoken? Kindly speak to me on this great auspicious secret first, for a great doubt has come and possessed my mind. What more shall I say than this, that as a poor man always thinks of wealth, so I am thinking again and again of those beautiful words." Hearing these words of Vishnu, the Devi Mahalakshmi smilingly said with great affection, "O strong and energetic one, I am now speaking in detail on this. Please listen. O four-armed one, it is because I have come to you with form and endowed with the gunas that you have come to know me. But you have not known that Adi Shakti, the prime force transcending all the gunas, though she is the substratum of all the gunas. O highly fortunate one, that Devi Bhagavati, transcendent of all the gunas, uttered that all auspicious, highly sanctifying semistanza, which is the essence of all the Vedas. O destroyer of the enemies, I think that there is the highest grace of that highest Shakti on you, that she spoke the greatest secret to you for your benefit. O one performing good vows, know those words uttered by Mahavidya as the essence of the sastras. So firmly retain them in your heart, never forget them. There is no other thing, save that, worth being known in earnest. Because you are most beloved by the Mahashakti, the Devi, it is that she has spoken this to you. Hearing these words of the Devi, Mahalakshmi, the four-armed Vishnu took that semi-stanza as a mantra to be repeated in right earnest within his mind and cherished that forever within his heart. After some time, Brahma was born of the lotus of the navel of Vishnu. Brahma became afraid of the two demons, Madhu and Katapa, and took refuge of Bhagavan Vishnu. Vishnu killed those two demons and began to do distinctly the japam of the semi-stanza. Brahma, born of the lotus, then asked Vishnu with a gladdened heart, O Lord of the Devas, what japam are you doing, lotus eyes? Is there any other body more powerful than you, O Lord of the universe? Whom do you think and thus feel yourself so happy? Hearing Brahma, Bhagavan Vishnu said, O highly fortunate one, think out yourself once of the primordial force, the auspicious Bhagavati Adi Shakti, who is reigning everywhere as the cause and effect, and you will be able to understand everything. My presiding deity is that immeasurable, eternal Mahashakti, on whose Shakti, as a receptacle with form on this ocean rests the whole universe. I am thinking of that by which is created over and over again this entire universe, moving and non-moving. When the Devi Bhagavati, the giver of boons, becomes graciously pleased, the human beings become freed of this bondage of samsara, and again the highest eternal wisdom, the cause, the mukti, the Mahamaya become the source of bondage to this world of those who are deluded by her. O Brahma, you, I, and all other things of this entire universe are born of the Chit Shakti, the power of consciousness of her, and her alone. There is no manner of doubt in this. The semi-stanza by which she has sown within me, the seed Bhagavata will get expanded by the beginning of the Dwapara Yuga. While the Bhagavan Brahma was resting on the navel lotus of Vishnu, he got the seed of the Bhagavata, the mantra. Then he gave it to his own son, Narada, the best of the Munis, and Narada gave it to me. And I have expanded that into 12 skandhas. Therefore, you should now study this Bhagavata Purana, equal to the Vedas and endowed with the 5 characteristics. In this wonderful, glorious deeds and life of the Devi Bhagavati, the hidden meanings of the Vedas and the wisdom, the truth are all described. Hence, this is the best of all the Puranas and sanctifying like the Dharma Sastra. It is the substratum of Brahma Vidya. Therefore, if men study this, they will easily cross the sea of the world. Therefore, hear the sanctifying Bhagavata Puranam and retain it firmly within your heart. O best of persons. You are the foremost of those who are intelligent, so you are worthy to read this Purana. 18,000 slokas are in that Purana, and you better get to know them by heart, for if anybody reads or hears this Purana, fit to be praised in every way, all auspicious, capable to increase prosperity by the addition of sons and grandsons, giving long life, happiness, and peace, he sees the Sun of Wisdom resting in his breast and dispelling all darkness of ignorance. Sutta said, thus speaking to his son Sukha Devi, Veda Vyasa, my guru, studied with us and gave us the Purana and thought it was very long. I got the whole of it by heart. Sukha studied the Purana and stayed in Veda Vyasa's ashram. But he was naturally dispassionate, like a sannyas, the mind-born son of Brahma. Therefore, he could not get peace in studying the contents of the Purana, which it deals with all the actions fit for the householders. He remained in a solitary place, his heart being troubled very much. He appeared as if with his heart void. He did not mind much for his food, and he did not fast also. Once Veda Vyasa, seeing his son Sukha Devi so thoughtful, said, "O son, what do you think constantly about, and why are you troubling yourself? Like an impoverished man entangled in debt, you are always disturbed by your thoughts. O child, when I, your father, is living, what for do you care? Leave aside your inmost sorrows and be happy. Cast off all other thoughts and think of the wisdom contained in the sastras and try your best to acquire Vijnana, the essence of wisdom. O son, if you do not get peace by my words, then go at my word to Matilha, the city of King Janaka. O son, that King Janaka, who is liberated while living, whose soul is religious and who is the ocean of truth, will cut asunder the net of your delusion. O son, go to the king and question him on the Varnasrama Dharma, the Dharma relating to caste and stages of life, and remove your doubts. That royal sage, Janaka, the great yogi, the knower of Brahma and liberated while living, is a pure soul, truth-speaking, of a calm and quiet heart, and always fond of yoga." Hearing these words of Veda Vyasa, the highly spirited Sukha Devi, unrivaled energy, replied, O Father, your word can never turn out false, but when I hear that the King Janaka is gladly governing his kingdom, still he is liberated while living, and disembodied while he is in a body, this your words appear to me quite contradictory, like light and darkness at one and the same place and time, and seems that these two epithets simply indicate vanity and nothing else. O Father, this is my greatest doubt. How can the royal sage Janaka govern his kingdom being unattached? It appears that your word about Janaka is quite false, as the son of a barren woman. O Father, I have now got a desire to see this enlightened King Janaka, for my mind is plunged in great doubt for how he can remain in this state like a lotus leaf in water. How can the royal sage Janaka, in spite of his being a householder, quit the usages of his senses? I cannot comprehend this. How can the things enjoyed by him appear to him as if unenjoyed? And how can his doings be as if non-doings? How can the idea of mother, wife, son, sister, and various persons having different relations arising within him vanish again altogether? And if that be not the case, how can this Jiva-mukta-hood be possible. If his taste be present of pungent, sour, astringent, bitter, and sweet things, then it is clear that he is enjoying all the most excellent things. O Father, this is my greatest wonder and doubt, that if he has got the sense of heat and cold, pleasure and pain, how can he be a Jiva Mukta? That king is thoroughly expert in reigning his kingdom. How then the idea of enemy, friend, taste and distaste remaining absent in him, he can govern his state? How can he look with the same eyes upon a thief and an ascetic? And if he makes any distinction, how then is his liberation effected? I have never seen such a man that is liberated while living, and at the same time an expert king in governing his subjects. For these reasons, great doubt has arisen in me. I cannot understand how the King Janaka can be liberated while he is remaining in his house. Whatever it be, I desire now greatly to see him after his Jiva Muktahood, so I desire to go to Matilha to solve my doubts. Thus ends the 16th chapter of the first skanda on Sukha's desiring to go to Matilha to see Janaka in the Mahapurana Srimad Devi Bhagavatam of 18,000 verses. Jai Mahamaya ki, Jai Bole Baba ki, Jai.